Okay, as per the government's criteria, it must be listed as an item number first. Okay, poverty, because we have so many multi-dimensional indexes, which is completely putting poverty as a threat to the nation's prosperity, and prosperity everywhere is a threat to the poverty. है ना? So we can say this thing that poverty indexes are being multiple in nature, because poverty causes the mismanagement of the population also, because there is a mismanagement of the population from the different states in terms of the job creation of the job seeking opportunities. So the government, so many departments or so many states, respective ministries are not cooperating or managing the population. That's why the people are becoming in or living or residing in slum areas where they cause the poverty very high. And if we see that the population mismanagement in slum areas of the metropolis areas, for example Delhi, Kolkata and Mumbai, these are the areas which are rich in the poverty, because the people are not being populated. I'm just targeting your point, population mismanagement. And pollution is that when the population is not managed attentively, then it will automatically create pollution itself. For example, in Mumbai or in Calcutta and metropolis areas, what personally I have seen in a documentaries, that in a developed area we have the single or the very unique civic amenities where we can use a sanitation house properly. But in the Maharashtras and these areas, we have the single toilet for the more than 2000 population for the single use. Okay, so it is a one kind of an important point which we have to be incorporate in our speaking. And the second thing is that poverty is also very important topic from my side also. Being individual, I experience poverty day by day, because I have seen so many cases and I have solved so many case studies related to poverty. And government is also targeting poverty not into the one dimension, but there are several other dimensions. For example, education. There are so many government rules and regulations of the policies which are being broadcasted or telecasted or being projected on the white sheets, okay, in the different ministries of the central government or either the state government, and where they are reducing the poverty just because they can impart the right education to the child or the wards of the poor people in the families. Okay, when they are able to just manage all these kind of issues, then poverty itself is being addressed. As it is also the item number, I think I'm not aware about the numbering, but it is also incorporated in our SDGs also, which earlier being called as a millennium goal. So government of India is also incorporated in SDGs. And for example, any kind of prominent personalities or any kind of dignitaries are coming to the nations to visiting purpose. So what do we do? Our different ministers plan to just hide the poverty, because it creates a bad image to the different nations ministers. For example, when US's Prime Minister came to India in Agra, what happened in the Taj frontline area? We just occupied or hidden the things that Prime Minister of USA or the President of USA, could not see. So we did that. But population, I'm just targeting there. Population. So India is in a demographic dividend, but China is in a demographic longevity. So I would like to define the term demographic dividend and demographic longevity. What does it mean? That we cannot say this thing that China and India both are equal in terms of the population emergence. No, China is having the demographic longevity. It means it is taking care of the geriatric population a lot as compared to Indians. Indians have the young generation, which is known as a demographic dividend, in which India is unable to utilize their potential to get the prosperity, to get the developmental opportunities. So that's how I can say that I can assert that my poverty topic, or from the individual point of view, from the expert committee's point of view, or the different government perspectives point of view, is highly essential. Government must take care of this poverty line.
So, yes, hello everyone. So our topic is the population control. So I want to mention about the population control. Population control is most important topic or a event in our country, because population creates the pollution as well as the poverty. If we control the our population, so it will reduce the impact on our resources, because we have a limited resources. So how can we save our resources and the natural as well as the management? So population control is, in my opinion, as the group is important than the corruption, pollution and the poverty. As already I want to mention example, the Japan and the China. You have mentioned that in India we have a population but not a skilled population. As we compare the other country developed because of their good management on the population as well as the good environment for their pupils. But in India we are lagging of in the implementation of the rules and regulation because of the we have a large number of population. So in my opinion, we should reduce the population for the reducement of the poverty and population.
That's why we have the demographic dividend is already in the favor of India. So why you are saying that we should like control the population? Population has already been controlled. Okay, because demographic dividend, the indication or the indicator is in the Indian favor. Okay, so we cannot say. You should say rather than this thing, demographic dividend is high because we have the less educated population. Okay, that's why the people are committing suicide. The competition is very high in the education sector, or the criteria is different because we are unable to incorporate those people who are living below the poverty line. Because of the below the poverty line, people are residing. So there are certain reasons by which they are not being incorporated into the mainstream society. For example, if I would like to quote one thing, that population, if the population is here, population is a mass major point of concern. So when it becomes a concerning point from the government's perspective, then we have to think from the all dimensions. Population, you are saying, for population is a process, which is bound to happen. You cannot control it, but population management is a technicality of the government, which is in the hand of the authorities. Suppose that if we are living in a different states, so for the job seeking opportunities, people are migrating from the different state to the different state. For example, Biharis are migrating towards Delhi. Okay, so NCT of Delhi is highly popular, highly clustered with those kind of populations, and those populations are highly mismanaged by the government authorities. They are not being given the residential areas, not basic civic amenities, not basic educations. Even though casting a right of the polity is also being denied to those people. But nowadays government is becoming highly democratized. That's how the casting right is being given to them, because government thinks that there is a benefit. That's why government is making it feasible. Okay, and one other thing I would like to say this thing. Have you ever been experienced yourself in a slum areas?
Yes.
Where?
Like in the outside of the street of the Delhi.
In Delhi.
Yes.
So what are the problems you have observed there? Being a citizen or being an individual person, practically speaking.
The first is the facilities given by the government is not sufficient.
Not sufficient. Yes. So why the government is not giving them the facilities?
Because
Here I'm sorry, I'm giving you a pause because these people have abstained.
Okay,
So let their views also come. Then they will get incorporated. Then we will love to hear or discuss about that.
Okay, being a part of this beautiful morning.
Otherwise
I
it will
hope
be
you all are doing
injustice.
well. My name is Ajit Goswami, representing my section, corruption. Actually, corruption plays a vital role in our India. If I talk about pollution, let's say if government stop doing corruption, so the cutoff which is government doing, they can make up in terms of what do we call pollution. Here you said that pollution cannot kill as much as corruption. Population can kill more than corruption. Actually, you must have heard the news where 14 people died. So after NEET examination, here corruption killed the people, and you must have seen the people who are dying just because of corruption. Actually, just because of corruption, their seats are occupied in private sector as well as government sector. Okay, so that's why people commit suicide. If I talk about population, okay, the population, what happens? Let's say if our resources are there, actually when we get tax from the people, okay, without doing corruption, we can provide several opportunities and several resources by which they can be taken care. You must, like, if I talk about let me give you an example of corruption. Now China or Japan, they both have stopped taking mangoes and rice. Why? Because of corruption. Because some adulteration was there in those things. Now the people of our India, they are consuming. That's why because of corruption. If corruption had not been there, our business would be there. If I talk about slums area, actually slums area, why are they like this? Because if government claims that they will provide some things, but and the end they are not providing them. Just because of what? Because of corruption. If corruption would not be there, the condition of the people who are being suffered or who are suffering in the poverty can be uplifted, and their condition can be alleviated. That's what I want to say.
So now I want to mention one data regarding